Well, greetings, hello, and welcome back. It's episode number 19.5 coming at you. It's been a while since we've done a half one. I think we're a little bit overdue. And if you've never seen a half episode, the idea is just a little bit of follow-up, and the focus is going to be a lot of detailing. And then today's special focus is going to be actually pedestrian movements. So we're going to do some pathways, get the people moving in and around the train station, hopefully help get them off the road a little bit. Have a fun way of doing that too. So stick around, love to have you. And if the detailing honestly isn't your thing, totally no problem. If you want to hit episode 20, totally feel free, we'll see you there. But these, I don't know how long they're going to be about, maybe like, 15, 20 minutes, and we'll just have a little bit of follow-up thought, and just talk about like why we're doing what we're doing. And it's going to be some, terraforming, and this one's going to be kind of cool, because we're actually building a big park through here. So sit back, relax. Alright, just for some really quick starters, I'm actually going to pause, so I'm getting rid of some of the roads here. But what I want to do is just really quickly terraform so I can bring the height of the terrain just to match the train station parking lot. And then what I want to eventually do is have a pedestrian bridge just kind of go up and over. Oh, that's way cleaner, just like that. But yeah, I don't know if I mentioned it before, but like, oh, for sure I have in the series. I don't know if I mentioned it last episode though. But one of the struggles, definitely, when you're adding this kind of infrastructure in, is you'll end up with a lot of pedestrian traffic. And they're going to sometimes, like, work against you. You might have, like, an intersection now that's got, like, too many people go into it because it's just, like, near a metro station. So what I want to do is kind of create, like, a fun little bridge, get people, like, up and over, not really using all the crossings here, per se. And I'd also like to kind of just, like, connect up this whole area through here. And just because we already have a lot of the rail established... Oh, and by the way, I just switched the flow of this. Looks a little bit cleaner now. But now that we know, like, the pathway of the... oh my goodness, my poor game here. Now that we know the pathway of the rail, I think I'm going to start detailing a little bit more of this. We've got the express and collector on this side. I don't think we're going to put any more major infrastructure here, so I'm kind of comfortable detailing it, in air quotes here. And part of my detailing thought process is maybe we can put in, like, a whole interconnected pedestrian pathway network. And then, like, kind of like a bike Autobahn system. So it can be a little bit like crisscross, it can be elevated and that kind of stuff. But, like, principally what I want is just, like, a bike lane that will follow more or less the shape of the highway. And then on the inside of that, so, like, closer to the road, not the highway, we're going to have a walkway. And so where we need to, we can use this as a way to get in and out of the city. But we're not going to do all of this right now. This is kind of like just getting the thought process going here, getting some of this infrastructure down. But I'd say definitely, like, the better you do overall at getting people out of their cars and into another form of public transit, like, the more you'll just end up winning with traffic. By the end of it, if you've done a really good job, the only people on the road should be those that are making a really short trip. And, yeah, emergency vehicles, and that's it. Services, emergency vehicles. People should be walking. They should be taking public transit. Maybe staying at home, getting stuff delivered. Yeah, does that work in this game? Okay, well, it's a little bit of that right there. And let's throw in the pathway. And I've just noticed, just in the last couple days, that my my mouse wheel is just starting to go. And I use my mouse wheel like 99% of the time when I'm doing my camera rotations and stuff. So it might seem like I'm suddenly, like, just dying halfway through a camera rotation. Yeah, bear with me for that. I'm going to try to get a new mouse ordered ASAP. If you have any recommendations, guys, I'm all ears. Drop me a comment in the chat. I'm currently using, it's called Cougar. It's like a German brand. I picked it up at TwitchCon in Berlin, TwitchCon EU. Really cool mouse, really like it. But that was like 2 years ago. So it's kind of like, not run its course, but I'm hard on my mice, I wanted to say. So it's just starting to show its age a little bit here. I think if we actually get a little bit closer to the track, it might spawn the pathways that go right to the platform itself. Alright, nice and slow. Trial and error, of course. Yeah, there we go. And then the thought was to have, like, an elevated crossing over here. Anywhere this will kind of let me. Let's get rid of the guidelines. No, so we can't go over top of the train station platform. I actually knew that. I don't know why I was trying that. But we can, however, do this. And then theoretically, that might be close enough on its own. We can always redraw that. But, oh yeah, so let's try this. And the goal is to have it, make the pathway on its own. And what's really cool too is wherever you switch elevations like this, it keeps that little pathway. So like, for example, see over here we've got the pathway made? The second I extend this, it's going to get rid of that one and just move it over. And if we're too far from this, it just gets rid of it altogether. So fun little trick here. Use the elevation step to kind of get what you're after. So we're going to do that same thing again just over here. And we're going to kind of play around with the terrain a little bit. So we'll raise this and we'll kind of slalom like downward in a fun way. Not too steep. Oh, you know, it'd be really cool actually if we went underneath here. Sometimes the infrastructure won't really let you. Or you have to do it like all in one go. See how we stop underneath it? Sometimes you have to do it all in one go. So maybe we'll get lucky with this. Cut out that part, and let's see if we can maybe connect that into that, and then hopefully the slope isn't like horrifying. Yeah, no, that's definitely not going to happen. Not a big fan of that. Instead, what we could do though is have this come down like such at a nice smooth slope. Oh, you know what? Back this up. Even better. Even better. Why aren't we using the Park Life DLC through here? Yeah, let's grab that. So we'll just Park Life DLC this whole shebang down here. And you know, maybe the pathway over here as well. Alright, start with that. I think that was the plan anyway. I may have mentioned that. I don't know. I feel like I'm losing my mind a little bit here today. Alright, so I don't know if we'll have... Nope, probably not room for that. So we can definitely put in the small park main gate right here. We'll put a side gate over here. We can connect these two together with fencing, which will be really cool. And then this can now go down the hill. So that's what I want, this one here. Nice gentle slalom. This might even be able to be fixed if we do a little curve in it. Might have to bring that a little bit higher too. You know, that's not too bad. I know that probably wouldn't be raised like that per se, but I actually like that a lot. Big fan of the way that looks, the stone bridge work. It feels a little bit safer too in my mind. All right, so let's do that. Let's connect this all up through here. So that one can just continue straight like that. And then this does want to go this way. And again, the goal is just to kind of be pretty close to the bike lane. There might be some moments where we put some fencing in between. There also might be some moments like this where we connect them. And that's simply going to encourage people to come down with a bicycle and then maybe switch over to this spot here. That's awesome so far. I like this a lot. All right, so now we got the gate down. We can actually start putting in some of the like pathways, not pathways, sorry, the stuff that like snaps to the pathway, so the cafes. So we know the plan with this now. Let's try to find a better way of doing that. That did not look very nice. You know, maybe the whole thing can start again. I'm not married to that. We can start this all over. A little bit tighter in this time. Yeah, there we go. So why don't we curve in like that, and then if it doesn't look terrifying, we can try doing like a little itsy bitsy connection like that between these two. Yeah, that's really not all that bad. We can probably even straighten that out a little bit better. And this is gonna be such a fun piece of eye candy when we see all of this like just kind of moving with like just tons of people. And then kind of what I was saying before, like the real goal is just to get people like just not really clogging up any particular crossing. There we go. I don't know, I'm a little unsure about that. I wish I could get that in one motion. Okay, you know what, I'm gonna keep that one because it's got the least amount of broken concrete bits and stuff. And then February, of course, you know, trying to hide stuff, right? Use your trees. Just switch our stations over really quickly here. Nope, not quite.
Bring the whole family to add the
One day. There we go, some nice jazz. There we go. Don't listen to jazz too often. Well, actually, you know what? I'm gonna put that tree in there. I'm just gonna drop this guy down, but... Okay, yeah, so hide a little bit of the imperfections through there, right? Still looks kind of fresh, but it was a little bit off-center. That kind of hides that a little more nicely. Along here, we can definitely do a little bit of detailing. Just little hints of symmetry like this is kind of nice. And then maybe a little bit of pop of color. Just a tiny little cluster of these guys here. Maybe we can line this side of the path with the with a few of these guys too. That's nice. Okay, so back to that original thought. Goodness gracious me, I feel like I'm all over the place here. Let's drop down some of this stuff. Okay, so Fountain Plaza, nice and fresh. Let's double check the terrain. It's not too horrifying. Got a little bit weird. Got a little bit weird. Curious if we could maybe bridge this part. No, you know what? Probably not. I don't know if I'd be able to terraform this either. It might just be a matter of like not the best spot for this area or for this particular asset. Yeah. We'll chop it up to that. All right, so this can go over here much more comfortably. So let's do that. It's just a matter, I think, just plopping down a few of these that kind of feel like they kind of match each other. All right, so that'll share the concrete, which will look kind of nice. That one could have possibly been the bigger guy there. And that one's like a smaller asset overall, so way less impact on the hill, so we can definitely keep that. And then see how it drew the concrete in between? That looks really nice. And if we wanted to maybe seem like this is the edge, get a little more of that color too to match up here, throw down some of these guys. Maybe kind of keep you in from the highway. And I feel like nature would probably run its course through here. So we might have a little bit of just kind of trees and bushes. And I haven't really touched upon this yet. There's a whole bunch of undergrowth. There's a whole new world of detailing that we can step into. So we can start using some of this overgrown stuff underneath. Lots of variety, lots of options. And it's a little bit challenging, but I think that the more you layer this stuff, like the more convincing it kind of feels. The only downside, and it's not really a downside, I just say that like the only thing is if you start doing it, you gotta stick with it. Otherwise it just seems like a little bit odd when you've got one area that's got that kind of detail on, and then it's like nowhere else has it, right? So just be wary. If you're willing to embark in that direction, definitely take it. It's a lot of fun. I feel like there might be the back way in through here, you know? Whether people actually use it or not, I'm not sure. We could even do that. And then maybe make this little bit down here. Get rid of that, and then switch this over so it helps blend a little bit better into that. So I feel like that intersection looks better than having the gray blob, you know? Cool. It's coming together rather nicely. And I think one of the neatest things about using the Park Life DLC is you're not stuck to the city park. Like, hypothetically, we wanted to use some of this stuff. We can plop these on over, right? Which is kind of cool. And we also have a shared like pack here for some assets. You know, so parks might have a little statue commemorating someone. Maybe a famous battle scene happened here. You know, up near the transit stop, we might have a little grill. Maybe buy your transit tickets on the other side over here. A little transit information booth. And then we got here a clock. That seems appropriate with our little booth. And then, ooh, is this a newspaper stand? Oh yeah, that's smart. Not a lot of room, unfortunately. It's a very, very skinny barrier we left ourselves with, but just enough. And then a couple of these cool modern-looking benches. Now, when this happens, the asset is still technically there. So just be wary of that. It does add to the asset count. There's a total number of these you can put in. I don't really know the number off the top of my head, but it is a number. So I'm not really too stressed. I'm gonna actually leave it. You might kind of be like, "Oh, Imperial, that's bad of you," but that's okay. Just a couple assets here and there, right? Amongst friends, who's gonna tell them? But just be wary of that. Sometimes it happens with trees too. So you might end up planting it like 100 times, thinking it's like not showing up. It's really there. If I do get rid of the pathway, it'll show up. I just don't want to in case I have to redo all this stuff. Maybe I'm lazy, but if that's what happens, that's normally the case. That's all. Okay, so a little bit of recycling, a little bit of garbage. And then what I think we could plop down would be those nice pavilions, and I don't know if it's going to fit. And we actually may not have even unlocked it yet, but one of those scenic outlooks might be kind of cool. Yeah, so the park pier, that's cool. Not really what I'm looking for. This will be really nice up here, these gazebos. So we'll drop that guy. And then one more over here. You know, I messed a little bit with our terraforming. Sometimes you can get lucky and you can terraform with the assets moving alongside. Looks like that happens to be one of those moments right now. I think that's a little bit cleaner, so I'll keep that. Nice little scene we got set up right there. Yeah, I just don't know if we've actually unlocked the outlook. I'm not remembering completely where that is either. Oh well, let's just do a little bit more decorating. Alright, so let's pretend someone got an ice cream truck over here. There might be some room. Yeah, we can do that over here. Maybe they have permission from the city to set up. Probably have to Austin Powers to get into that spot, but let's pretend it's not that hard. Okay, so we still got to bring the pedestrian pathway down over on this side, so let's go ahead and do that. And let's just do a little bit more interconnectivity through just this whole shebang right here. Those were technically connected, but I still want to just redo it just to be safe here. Yeah, it doesn't mean we can't do some zoning still in here. It just means we're trying to like mix it all through. So hopefully people can use this as a way up and over to get to the train station instead of having to like clog up all the pedestrian crossings through here. And then same kind of logic. Hopefully they go underneath through here, you know, end up over here. Bring them over this way as well. And then this gives us, you know, opportunity to do some detailing, right? Maybe that office is like, yo, get out of my yard. And then what do we do for the end? Some trees. Same old song and dance, but we love it. Nice shade. That's really cool. I'm loving this interconnectivity down here. And you may or may not be a fan of how close they are together. You know, you can always just do some decorations through there. You can get like a fence. Easier said than done. Maybe not a fence. Wow, that's really challenging to get in here, eh? It wants to like snap. No, I'm not gonna bother with that. Trees might be easier. Yeah, it's each their own. Doesn't have to be trees the whole way through. Maybe just through part of it, right? All right, well, let's connect up a few more spots here, and then let's just press play. 3-speed even. Let's just see what we can get through through here, people-wise. Okay, just for the moment. Just for the moment here. These are all connected. That's great. And let's throw in a few more things through here. I wouldn't mind trying to use them like that, but I think that's impossible. Okay, so just let's go right down to the nitty-gritty detail in here. So we'll use some of these signs. Put that at the top up here as well. Oh my goodness, we are really running out of space. No. So we could use some of these tiles over here if we maybe wanted to throw down something like that, a little area for some benches and picnic tables. Pretend those like can be dragged around, so they don't have to be in a symmetrical spot. And then we might maybe have a little dirt pathway that just goes back here. Get a little bit of those people walking through here. And then I think just adds, different colors, different textures, different shades. Not bad. Honestly, not too shabby at all. People are definitely loving this. Look at that. So it's not like it's a lot of people, but these people theoretically would be just kind of jamming up the intersection over here. And so anything to kind of reduce the traffic, right? And the more we have, oh my goodness, the more we have, the worse it will become, right? So all these people here. So we could possibly find a way to get even more of this connected. But I think, I think we'll leave things here. It's a great little start. Nice little bit of advanced detailing. And I think it's a really fun way to kind of just like, not finish off the area, but like get close to that, right? Because like what else are we gonna add, We got the trees, we got the symmetry, we got the beauty, we got the bike lanes, we got the walking paths. Using the elevation here to our advantage. We got some cool bridges. And it's just, this is the good kind of people watching now. I like this a lot. Well guys, share pictures of your own. I'm always curious to see what you guys are doing. So let's wrap up here. Let's say goodbye. And we'll be heading off into episode 20 where we'll be expanding. Let's try and connect up the last little train station. This guy over here. So we can connect this all up, maybe start expanding through here, get some more people in. Onwards and upwards. There's so much to do still, And then let's start redoing that industry. All right, guys, thanks very much for hanging out. This was a lot of fun. Yeah, let me know your thoughts, and definitely share. Like, join our Discord, share some pictures of your own stuff, send them to me on Twitter, and look at all the layers here. We got the trams, we got the trains, we'll have the bikes, we got the people, we got the highway. We could probably put in another row of fencing through here. I love it. We'll probably just detail for hours. Anyway, guys, that's it. I'll see you again. Thank you very much for your support. And I'm enjoying these half episodes. We'll do another one soon. So, give me some suggestions for them. All right, guys, take care of yourselves and happy building.